So don't take that.
We won't take up.
Yes, let's be the
Pods.
in Springfield.
Ho-ho, it's time for another Eat My Shorts episode of Pods
In the key.
of...
Oh man, 2 seconds into the intro and your mic stand falls into you.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Springfield.
Springfield.
So that was Pods in the key of, oh man, 2 seconds into the intro and your mic stand falls into you, Springfield.
Yeah.
Eat My Shorts episode. Now.
Hey, Nick,
Hey, bro.
can you hear laughter on the...
Well, I could hear my laughter and your laughter.
Yeah, I thought I could hear like a third set of laughter though.
Oh, shit. Oh, that was nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us for this episode. We have Elliot J. O'Neill
Hello.
from The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast.
An online spreadsheet. That's also a podcast.
That is also a podcast.
Also a podcast.
We are two things.
We've just recorded an episode of The Simpsons Index, so we're a little like...
The online spreadsheet that is also a podcast.
Yeah, we're kind of on like a podcast high right now, I think.
Yep.
We've just recorded for a very long time.
I mean, I'm looking at all the empty beer bottles next to me, and yeah, you're right. It's the podcast. It's the podcast that's made me loose.
I stopped after 2. I don't know. I'm just...
Well, we started playing the game Drink Every Time we say like and subscribe, so...
Oh, man.
Yes. By the way, guys, like and subscribe.
Please do both of those things.
I don't know how you like a podcast necessarily, but,
Well,
you know, if you...
like the pages that...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so what we're doing today, so for anyone who's new to this concept, Eat My Shorts is where we look at tangentially related things to the Simpsons universe.
Yep.
Things that aren't the episodes, but things that spin out from it. What we're doing today, gentlemen,
Aye.
is I've done some research into the real-life baseball players that feature in Homer at the Bat.
Oh, amazing.
And-
we covered this on one of our very early episodes of The Simpsons Index, and
Yep.
we were floored with it. Like, we didn't remember how good it was. Like,
It's a belter of an episode.
it is. It's just non-stop, and it does the amazing thing of introducing, 9 baseballers?
Yep.
And each one felt like they were given their due diligence. And
Absolutely. And what did it rate in... the Simpsons
unanimous
Index?
cubic zirconia, which is our highest ranking.
Excellent. And people can see that ranking at the online spreadsheet.
Yep. And
Which-
there's also a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
The Simpsons Index is both a spreadsheet and a podcast.
I'm into it. All right. So here we go. So I figure I'm going to read out some factoids to you. And if you want to react along the way, please go for it. That goes for the men sitting next to me on the couch and also the listeners at home.
Nick?
Yeah, bro.
Are you just taking this directly from the dollop? Didn't the dollop already do this?
This format of one person reading and one or two people reacting.
Yeah, but about baseball specifically? Are you going to tell me about the Rube?
I'm not going to talk about the Rube, nor will I talk about 10 Cent Beer Night, another good episode of The Dollop.
You're going to be talking about Ken Griffey Jr. and the Nintendo 64 game that held his name. Is this another video game episode?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to start with Steve Sachs. He played for the LA Dodgers, the New York Yankees, Chicago White Sox, and the Oakland Athletics.
And in Homer at the Bat, I believe he gets arrested for all the crimes that have ever happened in New York.
Correct.
Yeah. And yeah, Lou just pulls a gun on him, like, without much provocation.
Two things to say about, one thing to say about the team names. Oakland Athletics, terrible name for a baseball team. Sounds more like something you'd do after school if you go to school in Oakland.
Good name for a brand of sweatpants, I think.
Yeah, no, that'll work. So Steve Sachs currently hosts a radio show, and there's a thing called Steve Sachs syndrome.
Oh, really?
In 1983, Mr. Sachs became inexplicably incapable of making routine throws to first base. He had 30 errors in a season. Apparently, 30 errors in a season is enough to get a syndrome named after you.
Wow.
And so then whenever anyone would have a shit throw to first base, commentators would be like, oh, he's got Steve Sachs syndrome.
That's amazing.
And the fans of the, I think he was at the Yankees at that time, the fans became so enamored with Steve Sachs syndrome that they would sit in the dugout behind first base all wearing helmets to mock his inaccuracy.
Oh, that's horrible.
The sexy acts.
Yeah, because like poor dude's just gotten the yips or something, you know.
Is that a term we can say in 2017?
Is it not?
I'm sure it is.
Oh, now I'm worried. Shit.
It's one of those things that I don't know what the provenance of that word is. So
Yeah, I think I got it from 30 Rock or whatever, where, do you guys watch 30 Rock at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Jenna Maroney can't sing all of a sudden, and she realized it's because she wasn't wearing painful clothing, so one of the producers shot her with an arrow.
yeah.
And then she could sing.
I remember that. I remember television.
All right. Wade Boggs.
Bugsy.
What happens to Boggsy in the Homer at the Bat?
We haven't actually watched the episode yet,
No,
but
we
is he the one who falls into the Springfield mystery spot?
I think he.
No, the
Let's see. Roger Clements becomes the Chicken Man. Daryl Strawberry, nothing happens to. Ken Griffey has gigantism. I wish I hadn't established on the very first one, like I'd be able
Yeah.
to do this.
Okay, sorry. Well, maybe that's a bit that won't stay in the final edit of the episode.
Or maybe it will.
So
Let's showcase my flaws as a person.
Wade Boggs, he played for the Boston Red Sox, the Yankees, and the pleasingly rhymeful Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Nice.
In 1981, he was part of the longest game in professional baseball history.
Wow.
It went for 8 hours and 25 minutes
Doesn't
for
seem-
some reason.
It doesn't seem that long.
Apparently not. He had a noted technique, a well-known technique for mental preparation before a game. Every night before the game, he would imagine batting 4 times, and he would imagine hitting the ball 4 times. And he ate chicken before each game. Curiously, he was not the one that was turned into a hypnosis chicken during the Simpsons episode.
Nick, none of this is impressive.
Well, what about this, James?
Yeah.
His mother was killed by a cement truck that was being driven by a prisoner.
Now that I'm into.
Yeah.
That's your show.
Yeah, a person who was in prison stole a cement truck and killed Wade Boggs' mother.
Well,
And,
you know.
that was Wade Boggs. He's the one that got punched out by Barney.
Palmerston!
Okay.
Iffy Elder.
I mean, like, if this guy wasn't already being recognized as a serious criminal, this really cemented it.
Ooh, that's good.
With apologies to the real dead person involved in this anecdote.
Well, they probably won't hear this, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wade Boggs, if you're listening. Can you get Danny DeVito on the phone?
Ozzie Smith, he was a short...
He's the one that fell down the thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He was a shortstop, played for the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. He was nicknamed the Wizard of Oz, presumably because Toto pulled back the curtain to reveal a small middle-aged man presenting a projection of the baseball player.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Wizard of Oz.
You really don't watch movies, do you?
No, I don't. No,
You
I
know
don't.
what, though, Nick? I haven't seen The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Jinx.
I know.
That was great. That's interesting. Sorry, I'm actually thrown now because there's a movie that I've seen that you haven't.
I've only
Yeah.
seen the spin-off, The Wizard of Oz, which is a very different film.
Oh, that was the Nickelodeon film about the 90s, all the TV shows. they
Yeah,
had?
people kept getting slimed and
Yeah.
gacked and oozed.
Yeah. Man,
Do you remember Gack?
Yeah, Gak was great. Weird little toy.
Yep.
That would be a good name for like a 90s podcast. Just remember Gack? Yeah.
I remember Gak. Alas, poor Gak. I remember him.
Remember like Nickelodeon's brand was so strong they could just sell you just like a lump of shit. It's called Gag. It's squishy and whatever. Just fucking buy it, you dickhead kids.
Yep. It ruins carpet and gets dirty in 2 days.
I legitimately ruined someone's carpet with some Gak.
No way.
Jose Canseco played for the Oakland Athletics, terrible name still, the Texas Rangers, the Boston Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays. In 2005, he admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs during his entire career.
Oh, good.
Nice one, Jose.
Conseco.
Also during his career, how's this? He was arrested for taking police on a 15-mile car chase.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
For carrying a loaded semi-automatic pistol in his car on a separate occasion.
Holy shit.
He was charged with aggravated assault. He was arrested and convicted for assaulting his wife. He was convicted of assaulting tourists at a nightclub in Miami. Good guy.
Holy fuck. And he's the one that saves the woman's burning house and baby and play a piano and everything?
And I haven't got the dates of these things here in my notes, but some of those things happened late 80s. So like,
Wow.
like 88, 89. So the Simpsons writers would have known about that.
Well, the important thing is that we continue to see sports people as like the greatest people among us and, give them millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Of
Nick-
Ken Griffey Jr.'s N64 baseball game, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Nicknamed Junior and the Kid. I always find it weird when people have two nicknames, just settle on one. He played for the Seattle Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, the Seattle Mariners were owned by Nintendo.
They were.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they only recently sold.
Imagine
Yeah.
if the Seattle Mariners were owned by Sega and they had a tie-in with Echo the Dolphin, my least favorite video game of all time.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Nah, it's bad.
It's pretty though.
Actually, I haven't seen it for a long time. I guess it
Yeah.
probably is pretty.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like 16-bit art and stuff, and like Echo, like still just looks gorgeous, but yeah, it's largely unplayable.
Largely unplayable. So Ken Griffey Jr. in May of 2010, the manager. So Ken Griffey Jr. was still playing in 2010, by the way.
What?
Yeah, he started his career in like 88, and he was still playing in 2010.
At that point, can you still
That's
call yourself
amazing.
Junior?
I don't think so, but it's his name.
More cream corn.
There goes Old Man Junior.
More cream corn, Ken Griffey Jr. In May of 2010, the manager of the Mariners made a decision to limit Junior's playing time after two players reported that he was asleep during a game.
Oh, gotta wake up, Old Man Junior.
National media dubbed the incident Napgate. Which is shit.
Does everything have to have gate on
Yeah.
the end?
And this is the bit I like. He didn't deny it, but one of his teammates said, anyone who thinks he was sleeping should, and I quote, stand up and fight me. I don't think...
Lord Palmerston.
I don't think anybody fought him.
No one took his challenge.
That's
no
a
one,
shame.
No one
So-
took his challenge.
Sorry to cut in, but yeah, remind me, Ken Griffey going up until 2010. Reminds me, last night I found out, I didn't realize King of the Hill finished in 2010.
Yeah.
Really?
And then Bob's Burgers came out the next year. Isn't that insane?
That is weird.
Cartoons are good.
You had an interesting hot take the other day.
Did I?
Your tweet that said, "Remember when it was remember when it
Oh,
was
yeah. Remember there was that period of time where people just openly said that they thought Family Guy was a better show than The Simpsons, and that was like an okay opinion to have.
yeah, man, Family Guy hasn't aged well.
Nice.
No.
Just intolerable to watch now.
Yeah.
Um,
And that happened fairly quickly. I mean, it went off the air for a long time and came back as an awful show.
Yeah, I persisted with it way longer than I should have. I think I only gave up in season 13 or whatever when they killed Brian, and like they made a big deal, it was legitimate, but then the fans complained, so they backed down immediately and went, and I'm like, fuck you, you know, you're taking a bold move to reinvent your show and then you go back on it.
I think the thing with Family Guy, I know this has little to do with baseball, but
Yeah, sorry, man.
the thing that
I don't give a shit.
I feel like there was a point in time where I was watching that show, I realized, oh, this show is actually just racist. Like, it's not joking about racism.
Yeah.
It's just full of racism. It's just a racist show made by racist people. Okay.
So
Suppose
anyway,
I'm not going to watch this anymore then.
tune in and like and subscribe our new podcast, Pods in the Key of Family Guy, with me and James and Elliot J. O'Neill.
Yeah, it'll be just like that time we made that podcast and like the thing happened. And,
The Family Guy Index.
Yeah.
An online spreadsheet, that's
There's
also a podcast.
This is the podcast. Daryl Strawberry. He's a Christian minister.
Yeah.
Seems wildly unnecessary. He played...
What, just Christianity?
yeah, pretty much. He played with the
Wow, is that a popular opinion in Adelaide?
We are the city of churches.
And weed.
Yeah, we've got slightly more lax laws than other states. So he's a Christian minister. He played with the New York Mets, the LA Dodgers, the San Francisco Giants, and the Yankees. There's a video of him, and I watched this video earlier today when I was researching this. There's a video of him running at and attempting to punch his captain during a team photo day where they had like press cameras there, and his captain was Keith Hernandez,
I'm Keith Hernandez.
who appeared on Seinfeld.
Yeah. And then eventually got in hot water for like public exposure or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure what it was. Might not have been public exposure. I should clarify that for legal
Allegedly.
reasons. I
can add
forget
it.
exactly what he got into trouble for.
Yep.
And then Darryl Strawberry in 1999, and I'll just remind you again that not only is he a Christian minister, but he's one of these evangelical born-again ministers that appears
Sure.
on TV shows asking for people's money.
Oh, really?
One of those guys was arrested for soliciting a sex worker who was actually an undercover policewoman.
Ah.
And he also had a bunch of drugs on him at the time. So, good guy.
Wow.
And then later on, I don't have what year this was, but he was in a season of The Apprentice. And
Whatever happened to the guy who used to host that show?
yeah, well, he donated $25,000 to the Darryl Strawberry Foundation
Oh, okay.
at the end of the season of Apprentice. And then I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he's gone into construction, specializing in walls.
You know what? That cunt's probably dead.
Fuck. How good would that be?
At least
Sorry, I
dead
reached
inside.
right for the top shelf on that one.
Mike Scotia played with the LA Dodgers for his entire career. This one's actually quite a nice fact. 8.2 on my notes here is quite a nice fact.
Wow.
The Dodgers hired a rookie called Fernando Valenzuela in 1981.
Sure.
And Scotia learned to speak Spanish because no one else on the team could speak Spanish, and he wanted the team to be able to communicate better with this rookie.
That is nice.
Mike Scotia, good guy. He has a computer science degree. I have nothing funny to say about Mike Scotia.
He actually appears again in another, like, I want to say it's season 22 episode, where, I can't remember what it's called, but Lisa becomes the coach of Bart's baseball team.
Yeah, right.
And
Is that the one that's like a Moneyball parody?
yeah, I think it's called Money Bart now that you mention that.
Money Bart.
Yeah, and
I
yeah,
was thinking it was a stand-up comedy one called Open Mike Scotia, but no.
All right, the Scotia, if you're out there,
The Scotia.
get in contact. We'd love to chat to you.
Get in contact with Danny DeVito. Tell him to like and subscribe.
Why do people keep calling me?
Okay, Roger Clemens. He was nicknamed Rocket. He played for the Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees, and the Houston Astros. I don't think I've mentioned them yet.
they won the World Series this year, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, because I follow Nick Mundy on Twitter, and that's all he was talking about for like 2 weeks.
Sweet. Good work, Houston.
Good stuff, Nick Mundy.
In 2009, a former manager of Roger Clemens, the Rocket, referred to Rocket as a double talker and a complete asshole.
Wow.
He's
Cool.
ranked all-time 9th in the number of times that pitchers have hit batters with the ball. Rocket was caught up in Jose Canseco's admissions of drug use, and he responded, "I could care less about the rules," which shows that even baseballers don't know how to use that fucking phrase.
He was also really good in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Roger Clemens.
Rocket.
Oh, sorry. And in 2008, the New York Daily News alleged that Rocket had previously been in a relationship with a 15-year-old who went on to become a country singer.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Okay, so sorry, was that before this episode that was revealed, or?
I believe the relationship was late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, right.
And the allegations came out in 2008.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was about to say all this stuff. Like, no wonder they relegated him to just doing chicken noises in this episode.
So I've left my favorite one until last. I realize that loading it up with that much sizzle puts a lot of pressure on what I'm about to
Strap
say
yourself
next.
in.
So Don Mattingly.
Yeah?
And this is, of course, the one who's told to lose the sideburns.
Yes.
He spent 14 years playing with the New York Yankees. He was nicknamed Donnie Baseball, which sounds like a terrible movie. Probably starring Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis and Al Pacino together at last. Hey, Donnie Baseball, you gonna fuck with me?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I'm just trying to throw the ball here.
Nobody fucks with me, Donnie Baseball.
Oh, jeez.
So
Sorry, I was just doing a Morty impression.
Hooah!
So he had two nicknames. One of them was Donnie Baseball, and the other one was the Hitman, which curiously
Jesus, that's
also sounds like a movie starring
Yeah.
starring Rick Moranis and Al Pacino.
Well, yeah, I caught Donnie Baseball on Seinfeld when George started working for the Yankees, and I never knew why he said Donnie Baseball in that moment.
There we go.
Yeah.
So after playing, he coached for a while and now manages a team. But here's the best bit. In 1991, before Homer at the Bat aired, but after it was produced,
yeah.
the manager of the Yankees told Mattingly that he wouldn't be able to play until Mattingly cut his hair. Mattingly refused to cut it, and he was benched. But this is after the episode was finalized. And if you don't believe me, I've literally printed out the New York Times article to prove that that was a thing that happened. The manager of the team said,
You
"You've
put
got
it out and like stapled it in the corner. Like you were really banking on us not believing you.
Yeah, I know. I almost printed it in triplicate, but I'm running low on paper.
Nick, we've been friends for like 18 years. I was going to believe you on this.
I mean, I kind of didn't think you would. But I just think that's maybe, because there's that thing, South Park referenced it, saying The Simpsons did it, because The Simpsons have done everything. And there are lots of things where, there'll be an article that's like, 15 years ago, The Simpsons said that one day we'd have a party where all the music was played on an iPod, and now it's come to... And it's like, well, no, iPods already existed. They could see the way that was going.
Yeah, technology was clearly going to happen.
Totally. But every now and then, there are things that you go, wait, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe my favorite one is the fact that they did a whole episode... They canned and finished a whole episode about Mattingly having to shave his sideburns. And then after production's complete and the episode's ready to go, there's an actual scandal where the manager of his team says you can't play until you cut your hair. That's amazing.
Like, that is just astounding. Like, and he would have done this episode already, so... like,
Yeah, he'd be there going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I signed a non-disclosure agreement. What is my manager doing?
Man, life imitates art, right?
Get Al Pacino in here.
Cut your hair.
Who the fuck are you to tell him to cut his hair? Who the fuck do you think you are? That's my Al Pacino.
I'm enjoying your Pacino impressions.
Well, I think he's got quite a good haircut there. And
Who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up. I'm talking here.
Was that Rick Moranis again?
yeah,
Oh, sweet.
I really don't know where I'm pulling that from. I think I'm actually just doing Morty from Rick and Morty.
Sweet, and those are the facts I have on the nine baseballers from the real life spin-off of The Simpsons, which is Life.
We're talking softball.
Mattingly and Canseco.
Ken
Griffey's grotesquely swollen jaw. Steve Sachs and his run-in with the law.
So sorry, did Steve Sachs actually have run-ins with law? I couldn't remember.
Oh, hang on, I've thrown my notes away.
Talking home. Wow. Ozzy and the straw. No, I don't think Steve Sachs did. I think he was fine.
Yeah.
Nick, what are you doing? You going to get your notes? Yeah, I'm going to get my notes. Okay.
Yeah, because I think there was the rest of them. So that makes it even funnier that half of these people have criminal convictions and the one that they put in jail in the episode.
For all of New York's unsolved crimes.
The only stat that I've written down about Steve Sachs was that he had a syndrome named after him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lou Gehrig's disease, it was called.
Yeah, named after his nom de plume.
Yeah. All right, so this has been another episode of Pods
In the key
of
Spring.
Field. And Eat My Shorts, to be exact. We didn't put a number on this because we're not sure when we're releasing it. But
yeah, we're recording this in late November. I don't know why I looked at my watch for that. Late November. Who knows when it's going to go up? But we're recording it because we wanted Elliot to be a part of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
and
guys.
he just happened to be in the room, like right now. So
Yeah.
Yep, and if you haven't checked it out yet, check out Simpsons Index. These guys joined me for episode 66, and it was great.
Thanks, man.
Did Lisa's Rival and the Funzo Christmas episode.
And
of the
some
Magi.
bullshit new episode you don't have to worry about.
Oh my god,
and-
what a bullshit new episode that was.
blue man, she ain't what she used to be. That one. Definitely check out Simpsons Index and also check out the rest of Pods in the Key Springfield, the pod that
Yes.
you're listening to right now. on
Don't
your
forget to
podcatcher
like and
of choice.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Comment below.
Don't comment.
Sweet.
All right. Woozle Wuzzle. Bye. Sound of baseball being hit by bat.
You guys need an awesome outro catchphrase like that's all the mustard in the house.
Okay.
I've got some mustard in the fridge. There we go.
All right. Bye, everyone.
In Springfield.
Who does this guy think he is?
I'm Keith Hernandez.